You type a single text prompt into Claude, and it produces a fully functional, cinematic 3D scrolling website. Claude does not render these complex visual assets on its own. Instead, it outsources the generation to specialized external models. The Model Context Protocol, or MCP, acts as a bridge between your local prompt and a remote generative engine. This connection requires 4 components: the Claude desktop app, an external provider account, a funded token balance, and a remote server URL. Mastering this protocol allows Claude to interact with tools and environments outside its original architecture, expanding what the AI can actually build. The process begins outside of Claude, within your external model provider's web dashboard. Our goal here is to locate the remote MCP server URL. This link provides the coordinates Claude needs to find the external tool. Find the MCP tab in your account settings and copy that specific link to your clipboard. If you are not logged into your account, you will not be able to retrieve a valid URL, which will cause the connection to fail later. Similarly, if your external account balance is empty, the connection will appear successful initially, but will fail the moment you attempt to generate a visual. A valid, funded URL is the first requirement. Without it, the bridge has no destination. Once the URL is copied, return to the Claude Code desktop environment. Open a new session to ensure the installation begins on a clean slate. Locate the plus icon next to the chat input bar to open the settings menu. Click the plus icon, select Connectors, and then click Manage Connectors. You will see a list of native applications. Instead of choosing one of those, select the option at the bottom to add a custom connector. This opens a new configuration profile with 2 empty fields. Assign a name to this connector in the top field so you can identify the specific model it controls. In the second field, paste the remote URL you retrieved from the external provider. Click Add to submit the form and save the profile. These steps update Claude's internal configuration, making it aware that a new external resource is now available for use. Claude will now trigger a security redirect, sending you back to your web browser. You must explicitly grant Claude permission to access your external account. Click the Allow Access button on the confirmation screen. Wait for the browser to show a success message before returning to the desktop app. Back in Claude Code, there is one final step required to activate the link. Even with authorization, the connector remains dormant until you manually flip the toggle switch to on. The digital handshake is complete only when this toggle is active, opening the gate for data to flow. The terminal is now tethered to the external API and ready for instructions. To test the connection, prompt Claude to build a project while specifically instructing it to use the newly installed MCP for all visual generation. The terminal will provide feedback as it pings the remote server and begins receiving data from the external model. Once the process completes, Claude will present the finished visual asset, confirming that the entire external pipeline is fully working. This same setup process applies to any other external tools or models you want to connect via MCP. You now have a repeatable framework for adding external capabilities to your local environment.